Last time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Inner Theater. Hoss continued to try very hard to prevent Morrigan from committing suicide by dragon. Eventually failed and led the charred bones back to where his friends were resting, before delivering a dead griffin body to the dragon and having a short conversation, offering to lead more food his way soon.
Well, in the spirit of Orgothroa, enjoy your gluttony and feasting and killing, and thank you for your audience. And then I'm going to leave.
Then headed back to the hut with his friends. And now, Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater continues.
But you've reached a trapped hallway. You have landed on a plate on the floor. The last one you leapt off of released magical flame everywhere.
Alright.
This one you've already tried to disarm, I believe, and unsuccessfully. But you're at the corner of the hallway now, or you're like one square away from the corner of the hallway.
Well, what I'm going to try to do is, since Neville Chamberlain's invincible fire, what if I had him wrap around my head since I have the flame-resistant feet? Would that give me, like, an extra 5 points of damage resistance to my 10 already?
I'll say it'll help block some of it. I don't know if it'd be 5, but I'd let it negate some if it's fire damage again.
Well, I mean, I think it is, but I don't know. It could be acid damage. Can I try? Well, so I've already used my disable device, right?
Yeah, I think you already tried to disable this particular plate.
Alright. Can I try to, like, break the fucking device?
Yeah, how would you like to try and do that?
Like, can I try to smash it?
It's like to smash the plate underneath your feet?
Like, what if I did an enlarged person? Would that give me enough force, potentially, with, like, a stump to, like...
If you cast a large person in this particular cave, you'd probably fill up the entire cave and not be able to move very well.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try to, smash directly down with my clerical quarterstaff.
Alright.
And try to jam the device, like, into the ground since I'm stepping on it.
Yeah, you're right. It's a weight plate, so maybe if you can make it stick. Roll me versus its AC.
Alright. And add my strength, right?
Yeah. Same thing you would do with a normal attack, yeah. Normal melee attack.
Okay, then that's 11 plus 7.
Okay. So you hear it crack a little bit. It seems like the plate might be sticking, but you have no way of knowing for sure until you step off.
Alright. Well, I'm going to try and use acrobatics and leap off.
Leap 5 feet.
And I'm going to do a perception to see if I can see any grooves in the ground, potentially. I'm going to ask Neville to do it. Use his perception to see if he sees any potentially good locations to jump.
He says if you could jump diagonal instead of jumping to the next panel over. It looks like if you get out of this hallway, there's no more plates like this, but it looks like there's one more. But if you leap diagonal, Neville says you can probably avoid it.
I'm going to leap diagonal.
Alright, roll me an acrobatics, so leap diagonal. It's a 10-foot move, so that's a tricky one.
That's gonna be a 10.
You're still gonna get attacked by this trap because it's not very high. So roll me a d20, and you can subtract 12 from it.
Alright.
As flames erupt from inside the cavern again.
I got an 18, so 6.
6, yeah. So only some of the flames catch you as you leap out with Neville. But you're now out of this hallway that has these trick plates in it. In a short hallway that seems to lead to an opening ahead.
Well, since I can do D6 with the channel negative energy, I'm going to do that onto myself.
Alright.
Alright, so that's going to be, for my level, 1D6. I'm going to do it twice, because I have it 6 times a day, so I'm going to do 2 channel lights.
Okay.
Or channel negative energy, that's 2, 4. Alright, now I will proceed down the hallway.
Alright, you head down the hallway, you come into an opening, which seems to be, full of a couple of drow and what looked like a few prisoners up against the wall. Some of them hanging on one side of the wall, And the other one seems somewhat like paralyzed on the other side of the room. And 2 small rooms ahead, and a small hallway that leads forward, and then a small exit to the left.
Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna do perception to see if the ones hanging on the wall are alive.
Okay, roll it.
Alright. It's going to be a 16.
Yeah, they appear to be alive. They appear to be prisoners being held to be tortured. They are hung up in a very peculiar way. Some of them are hung upside down. Most of them are stretched out where they're being hung. So they're being hung and tortured, probably.
Alright. Well, I'm sent here to help the drow. So I guess I'll take,
There's a couple drow in the hallway now kind of dealing with all these prisoners already.
yeah, so I think I'm just gonna pass through.
Alright, you can pass through. I think most of the drow, early on when you came in the cavern, they were suspicious, but at this point, you're pretty much in the middle of the cavern. If you're this far in the cavern, they're pretty much going to assume that you have permission to be here. So they don't ignore you because they're in the middle of important work of their own. Do you head straight or to the left? Or into one of the small rooms?
Let me...
They appear to be just like interrogation rooms, at least from your experience with the HBI. They appear to be 2 small interrogation rooms and then 2 exits.
I'm going to get Neville to go to the left and come back and tell me what's in the room, but he's going to be invisible when he enters, and I'm going to get him to scout ahead for him.
Alright, roll a perception check for Neville.
Alright. That's 13 plus 7, so 20.
Lots of spiders.
Ah. So I'm not going to go in that way. I'll go in the other way.
You're gonna test the. Okay, you walk south. Down through that door. You are immediately set upon by 40 well-armed floating drow, all pointing weapons at you.
I say, I'm just trying to get to Southport to help the house of. I have it written down. Hold on.
Probably Antumbra.
Yeah, the Antumbra house. That's it.
They'll say wrong way and point you back out the way you came.
Should I go through the left?
Yeah, that's the only, unless you want to go back the way you came. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You walk into a room that looks like it's a spider spawning ground. It's full of swarms of spiders of all different sizes. It's a pretty large room. About 40 feet to the other end, where there's an exit straight ahead, an exit to the left, and an exit to the right.
So it's a pretty big room, you said?
Yeah. It's probably like a 20 by 40 size room.
Alright. Let me just pull up. I'm going to do a perception to see what these spiders look like. And that's going to be a 17 plus 7.
It seems like a lot of different kinds of spiders. You would know the drows have an affinity for spiders. A lot of them ride spiders, have pet spiders. So there seems to be a very wide variety of different kinds of spiders here, all different sizes, all different species. It seems to be a spawning ground of some sort. They seem to like breed spiders here. This is like a nursery for spiders. So these would be like baby spiders that drow are raising to be, pets later.
Well, I'm going to use knowledge nature to see if I can figure out if they are more creatures of visual hunting or use scent-based hunting, and if I could use like obscuring mist or something to go through.
I mean, the floor is pretty thick with them, so even when they're obscuring mist, you have to like walk through them. I mean, it's pretty much like a room completely full of spiders, like a spider pit, basically.
I'm going to go back out of that room and into the drow prison pit and ask them if there's any way through the spider room.
They say we just walk through.
Or won't they bite you?
Probably. Are you afraid of spiders?
No, there's just a lot of them. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk in there and
I mean, you can walk all the way across it. I get to roll 9 times versus your AC with the spiders, and if you make it all 9 times without a hit, then you're fine.
If I threw the incendiary cloud bomb of smoke does 6d6 damage. It's 20 by 20 feet. How much of the cavern would that cover?
You probably kill a lot of spiders and piss off a lot of drow, but it would cover a 20 by 20 section of the cavern, which is about half of it. But you'd be killing a lot of baby spiders these people are raising on purpose.
Oh, well, they're babies? Then yeah, I'll just walk through.
They're all young spiders. None of them are very big. How high is your AC?
21.
21, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. They have a BAB of 2, I think, so...
Yeah, definitely. I'll walk through.
Okay. Yeah, BAB 2. So unless I roll a 19 or higher, you're not getting bit. I can do it 9 times. Roll number 1's a nat 20, though. So that happens.
No, I know. I've had this happen before with the snakes. And
So you take 11 damage, and then I need you to make a fortitude save.
Jesus Christ, 11 damage?
That was a natural 20. I'm sorry, I got to roll twice, and I rolled it was a d6. I rolled a 5 and a 6. Almost the highest thing I possibly could have rolled.
That's only going to be a 6 on fortitude.
Alright, take 1d2 strength damage, which would be a 2, so you take 2 strength damage.
Jesus Christ! Alright.
You press forward.
Yeah.
Alright, get an attack of opportunity with that move for round 2. It's a natural 1, so we'll say that you step on the spider that bit you.
Nice.
No big deal, no one's mad if you kill a spider. You know, you're walking through a room, you couldn't help it. So this will be for number 2. I rolled a 19 versus your AC.
Which is 21.
So that's a miss.
Oh, no. Wouldn't it be half damage?
No, not if his AC is 21.
Yeah, my AC is 21.
I rolled a 19. He's fine. It wasn't a natural 19. It was a 17 plus 2.
Oh, gotcha.
It wasn't, and this isn't crit on a 19 either. So 19 is just a 19. It's not a big deal. Nope. That's number 3. Number 4, no. Number 5, no. Number 6 is a 19. Still no. Number 7, no. 8, no. So you make it through the rest of the room fine. But you are a little weaker from that first spider bite, just a little bit, so you get -1 to your modifier, basically, for strength. But
Well, I'm going to cast 2 more channel negative energies on myself.
Alright.
2 once. Holy shit. I'm going to need more than that, so I'm going to cast my last 2 of the day, because I really need something. Okay, there we go. 6. 1.
Alright, so you leave this spider spawning ground room. Do you walk straight left or right? There are 3 different ways out of here, 3 doors. One's a very small door, the other 2 are kind of large openings.
I'm going to get Neville to scout ahead for me in the small door first.
Alright, the small door, he says, leads to a small room. It looks like it's full of just one drow and a bunch of documents. So it looks like a dead end.
What's the big door in front of me?
That seems to lead to another opening full of drow, much like the room that you came in when you first entered on the other side. It looks like something very similar to that, except like a different group of drow, basically. A different house of drow, but the same type of initial opening outside of a drow house. So he thinks that's probably the smartest way to go. It looks similar to an exit. It has a lot of drow in it, basically. It looks very crowded, so it's not in the middle of the caverns. Like most of the rooms you've gone in have only had 1 or 2 drow, whereas the places that seem to have a lot of drow are right by the exits, usually.
Yeah.
So Neville seems to think that seems the most promising way, although there are a lot of drow there.
Yeah, I'll go through that.
Alright, you go straight ahead. There are more drow there. Yeah, a lot of drow there. But there are 2 exits in this room. They don't seem to bother you. Once again, you've gotten this far, and you're coming from behind them, not through an entrance. So they're not very suspicious or anything. But they are all kind of looking at you, glaring at you, kind of trying to keep an eye on you, see what you're doing, kind of thing. They're still suspicious that you're there. But there are 2 exits, one straight ahead and one to the right.
Yeah, and I'm going to get Neville to scout ahead for me. See what's on the right.
All right. On the right seems to be a room where they feed spiders.
Okay.
And straight ahead seems to be more caverns.
I'll go straight ahead.
All right, you go straight ahead. I get a roll percentage chance when you go through these caverns. These are wild caverns. Nothing. 86. You get attacked by a giant spider.
Okay. I am first going to cast. If I cast a large person on myself now, would that still affect my movement?
Yeah, that's part of your round action right now. So if you do it right now, that'll be like your standard part of your move.
Okay.
So you can still move and you can still do a swift action, but you wouldn't be able to attack if you did that.
Okay. I'm going to do a knowledge nature on what type of spider this is first. That's only going to be a 3, 5, but still.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. This is be a big spider about the size of a dog. You wouldn't know much else about it.
I'm going to throw my incendiary cloud bomb of smoke at it.
Alright.
Try to hit it.
Roll the damage.
Alright.
It might hit both of you, though.
Well, how far? Well, before I throw it, how far away is it?
I mean, it's only like 10 feet ahead of you, and you're in a very narrow hallway, so the smoke doesn't have a whole lot of place to go.
Well, I have damage resistance to it by 10 points.
Yeah.
That might be overkill. I think I can take it all.
Just one spider.
Yeah, I think I'll take it all.
Alright, roll for initiative.
Okay, yeah. So I'll roll mine, which is plus my dex.
+1. Plus your dex, +1 for your arm.
That's going to be a 50. Neville got a natural 20.
Right, I got a 16, so Neville can go first versus the spider, then you.
Alright. Okay. Well then, yeah. Sting. I doubt poison would do anything to the spider.
Where's the poison? Poison's effect. I mean, you would have to roll knowledge nature to know whether or not it's immune to it. But
I'll melee sting it.
all right.
And that's only going to be a 14.
All right, gets a reflex save, which is 15. So he'll take half damage from it.
All right, so that's
1d4
plus poison.
Yep.
And that's going to be 3. So
I'll say 2. It's fine. And the poison, I get to roll a save. Looks like a fortitude save, right?
Yeah, Fort DC 13.
I rolled high enough, so he's not poisoned.
Alright.
Then spider, then you, right?
Yeah.
All right, I rolled a 20 versus the imp's AC.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hit, which he's got 17.
All right, does 2 damage plus the possibility of poison. So
Alright.
2 damage. I need Neville to make a fortitude save.
He's immune to poison.
Oh, he is, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Boom. Good to know.
Okay, so what was the damage on it? 2?
2. Yep.
Alright. I'm going to attack it with my Great Axe of Bromagog.
All right. Strike away.
I'm good. That's only gonna be a 9.
That's gonna be a miss.
Okay.
Of course. Back to Neville.
Yeah.
Neville's still hovering overhead, preparing to sting again. His little stinger.
Neville's gonna do the sting again. And that's gonna be a 13 plus 8.
That's gonna be a hit.
1d4. That's 3 again, plus the chance to poison with the
13?
He's got the
I beat it again.
Alright, now back to the spider.
I rolled a 14 versus Neville's AC.
The 17.
So that's a miss. Back to you.
Okay, I'm going to attack him with my I'm going to attack him with my clerical quarterstaff that gives me the two attacks. So for my first attack, I roll a 9 plus 6, so that's a 15.
It's a hit.
And for my second attack, I only rolled a 9, so that's
a miss. Yeah. So the first one hits.
Yeah.
First swing of the axe works. Or this quarterstaff.
That's only going to be a 6 damage.
6 damage.
Yep. Now back to Neville.
Yep.
Alright, he's going to do the sting again. That 20.
Alright, he can do double damage.
I'll roll to confirm.
Yeah.
I got a 19, but not a natural 20.
Yeah, I'm not confirmed with this particular attack.
What would that incur with...
The poison stays the same, just the attack happens twice.
Okay, so it'd be 2d4.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's 2 and 4.
Alright, it's unconscious.
Yes. And I'm going to pray to Robogog and smash it to bits with my great axe.
Alright. You smash it. Robogog approves. And
Yes.
because you prayed to Robogog, she'll let you know you're heading the wrong direction.
Oh, God. I pray, oh great beast of all destruction and death, famine in the world, what is the right way?
She says you only made one wrong turn.
Wrong turn. What was that? Yeah. What's the wrong turn? But, okay. Well, I'll go back.
Alright, you go back into the drow, what we'll call it the welcome center, I guess. Where there's a bunch of drow. They recognize you from before, and you've got spider guts on you and stuff now. They point.
Where's the entrance to Southport?
Roll me a diplomacy with the drow.
God damn the 3s. That's only going to be a 5.
They say, I'll show you the way for 200 gold.
Okay.
Alright. He leads you south through the spider feeding room where Neville saw earlier. Bunch of troughs, basically, with a bunch of food for spiders, where people come in and feed their spiders that they ride. All these drow ride the spiders. So you see a bunch of drow on the backs of spiders and stuff now, like feeding their spiders, and they stop here to eat and then keep moving on. He walks through this room into another one of the caverns similar to the one where you just fought the spider. They're like wild caverns again. See if anything happens to you guys while you travel. He leads you around a couple obstacles. You guys maneuver around even one small cave-in. A bunch of rocks fall and you guys dodge it. Once you guys reach the Southport Antumber House, after a lot of traveling through some caverns, you've reached it. You recognize it from before. It's the room with the big table and all the chairs and stuff. You've reached the secret entrance. Roll a perception check.
I will. I got a, let's see, what's my perception? A 17.
Alright, it seems pretty dark in here, very quiet. There's actually no drow in here, none of the candles are lit. But there does appear to be a light coming from the back cavern where the dragon used to be.
First, I'm going to cast Inflict Like Wounds on myself to heal myself. That's going to be 1d8 plus my caster level of 1. So that's going to be an 8. Back to full health. And I'm going to walk towards the light.
Alright, you walk towards the light.
The stupid thing to do.
Yeah, so it sounds the opposite of what Vortiga would do. Vortiga walks towards the light.
No, I mean, I'm going to do it.
I need Ramses to roll a perception check. This is where it gets interesting.
I mean, I'm saying, Brian, would
Yeah.
you rather be gone up?
I mean, you do, this is your life. You do whatever you want. I'm just saying. It's about to get interesting.
Yeah. Do a Ramses perception check?
Yes, please.
Starting? Yeah. You got a 20.
Alright, Ramses knows someone has entered his lair. He hears the footsteps. He even sees a figure of the hobgoblin approaching. He knows this is his target. He knows this is who he's been waiting for.
Let's just roll for the initiative.
Yeah, roll for initiative.
Ramses only got a 7.
And what did Vortiga get?
Got a 7 plus 5. Oh.
So it sounds like Vortiga's going first.
There we go.
What about Neville?
Let me roll Neville's real quick. Ortega got a... And Neville got a 11. So it's going to go Ortega, Ramses, then Neville.
All right. And then we're going to say Neville, Neville loves collecting souls, so he's going to be particularly interested in this particular battle.
It's clear that Ramses is a spirit, yes?
Correct. It's a spirit. You would recognize it. It's a glowing white incorporeal creature in the middle of this cavern that you've stumbled into. It becomes very apparent very quickly. That's what your boss told you were looking for. Your boss said there'd be a spirit for you to find and capture or kill, so.
Alright, first I'm going to cast Protection from... I guess I'm going to go with Good, since it's Benevolent Spirit.
Alright, and what does that give you? If you do Protection from Good, what happens?
That gives me a +2 to AC and saves, plus additional protection against the selected alignment.
Cool. Alright, so you cast that upon yourself.
Okay.
Any move action or quick action?
For the move action, how far away am I from Ramses?
Probably about 30, 40 feet.
Casting magic weapon wouldn't allow me to attack a spirit, would it?
You don't know. Unless you roll
Knowledge
Arcana.
Yeah, I will.
Alright.
Fuck me. That's only going to be a 5.
Alright, you kind of remember that they covered this in your HBI manual when you first signed up, but you don't remember a whole lot. A lot of the stuff you do is destruction, so you don't have to fight spirits a whole lot. You usually create spirits. So you remember there being something in the brochure about it, but you don't remember what.
Yes.
You do remember that magic's probably a better idea than a physical attack. You do remember that much, at least.
I'll just cast command, I guess.
Alright, on Ramses. Oh, you already cast your spell for this turn.
I already cast my spell, so I guess I'm done with that.
Alright, so who goes next?
Neville.
Alright, Neville, go ahead.
I'm gonna have Neville roll a Knowledge Arcana, which he has a +7 in.
Okay, so he's dealt with spirits before, right? So roll it.
That's a 17 + 7.
Yeah, he would also know that incorporeal creatures cannot be attacked using weapons, unless they are ghost touch weapons, and that even magic doesn't always work against them. It has like a 50% chance of working, basically. Unless it's particularly a spell that affects incorporeal creatures. Any other kind of magic only has a 50% chance. He might know that magic missile would affect incorporeal creatures normally, because that's a force magic weapon. All force spells attack them normally, but I don't know if he would communicate that to you or not. That's up to you, I guess, as you control him.
Yeah, I mean, you would say that, but I don't have any of that shit, so it's...
Not even magic missile?
No.
There you go.
I have no magic ability to attack anything.
But Neville would know force spells or any kind of... all magic might have a 50% chance of working, but force spells are guaranteed to work against them.
Alright, well, Neville can't do anything either. He really has nothing beyond,
He remains invisible and hides somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, that's really all he can do.
Alright, roll a perception check for Ramses to see if he notices Neville's there with Fortiga.
Alright. That's a 19 + 1.
Alright, roll a stealth check for Neville +2 for being invisible.
Yeah, next +2, so
It's Pat
17,
Nasty.
so what's that?
That's why he's my co-DJ.
+3? That's +3. 17's a +3 on dex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so +5 total. Natural 1.
Alright, so even though Neville's invisible, this spirit senses his presence in the room. So Ramses knows that Vortiga and some other invisible small thing is in the room, and can probably pinpoint its location with its spiritual senses.
Okay, well, I mean, Ramses is going to do the natural thing of, what he would do. He has all his normal...
Is he going to give a speech? He's going to give a speech, isn't he? Ramses is going to give a speech.
He'll give a speech in a minute, but he's going to fight
Remember when everyone
classic
used to give Ramses hell for preaching all the time?
We'll give classic Ramses here and give him a good fucking, evangelical Bible.
Yeah.
Ramses is gonna roll diplomacy.
All right. What is Ramses?
Step down.
How honorable of Ramses. What do you do, Ramses, with your diplomacy check?
Well, they roll it.
All right.
God damn it! It's a 19 plus 3, so
That's pretty high. What do you say?
creature of foul worship, you should turn away now from your deity and step towards the light of the great deities of the universe, the planes that are trying to help bring the light to the world, bring health and prosperity, and combat this rock of destruction that you plan to bring on the world.
All right, roll me a sense motive for Ortega to see how she responds to it. High will be she understands his intentions and might go along with it. Low means that she won't and will, disagree.
Yeah. That's gonna be what was I rolling? Sense motive?
Yeah, trying to beat the number that you rolled for Ramses is
That's gonna be an 18.
And what did Ramses roll for diplomacy?
20.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't beat it. So she's not necessarily vehemently against the idea, but she's not necessarily willing to sign up right now either. But she maybe we'll consider listening a little bit longer, possibly. That's still up to Vortiga, but I would say that she's indifferent at this point. She's not incensed by the idea or turned on by it either.
Okay, well, that was Ramses' what?
That can be his quick action. All I know is his diplomacy. This is like saying something out loud really quick.
Okay, then he's going to... How would the spirit attack? What am I using?
Luckily for you, Ramses has ghost touch weapons, so all of his weapons work both against corporeal and incorporeal creatures. So while while people can put their hands through you and they wouldn't be able to touch you, your weapons, they can, and your weapons will do damage to them.
Okay.
My evil dude. That's what you would do.
Yeah.
But she's trying to give him a chance first. You can't be like, turn from your wicked ways, then like kill him right away.
Yeah.
Right? I would think an attack right now would be the opposite of what you can't just like do a nice diplomacy thing and attack right away.
Yeah.
So I think you have already turned down the fact that you can attack. You can do something besides attack, like beef yourself up, like do a spell that makes you stronger or something. That's what I would say right now. It's probably, the proper Ramses thing to do after making a nice diplomatic gesture like that. Ready yourself for battle if they don't agree with you.
Yeah, he's going to cast the protection from chaos evil. Get him a
All right.
plus 2 to his AC.
Flip the script, so now they both have protection from each other.
Yeah, they both
Woo!
have a plus 2 to their AC.
This math's getting complicated.
That's a plus 1 total, I guess.
By the end of this, Pat's going to be a math major.
So Ortega's going to cast Command on Ramses and get him to flee. What Ortega's going to do is she's going to implement 2 of her last 3 mythic points into the command because that's... Let me pull it up one more time.
And are you sure you want him to run away? Aren't you trying to either capture or kill this spirit? Wouldn't it running away defeat that purpose?
I was trying to fucking still bust up.
Oh, you are. You're trying to do that too. You're trying to do all that stuff.
I don't have anything that can capture or kill it, so I need to regroup and go try to bust up the thing first. That's the logic.
So you're trying to like distract this thing, get rid of it for a minute, and then go do your job.
Yeah, I encountered the boss. I'm trying to have a Mega Man encounter here.
I like it. Oh no, the boss. Then you're gonna come back to it later.
Yeah.
I got it.
So I'm going to cast. I'm going to plug just 1 mythic point in command, which is you can target up to the 1 creature per level. So that's the 1 creature. And creatures that succeed at their saving throws are staggered for 1 round. This is a mind affecting effect. Okay,
He gets to save on it.
Mythic command, and even if
If nothing else, you buy yourself 6 seconds.
Yeah, even if he succeeds in the save, he's gonna, just here, hold on. Just unplug that. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna cast my mythic command, and what? Let me double check and see what the.
You're acting like me, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
It's 10 plus 1, right? Because it's 10 plus my level, or my caster level, for the will save.
And plus your spellcasting modifier.
Alright, so. That's going to be a 9. Will is a 7. So yeah, Ramses succeeded the will save.
So Ramses does not flee.
Yeah, but he's staggered.
He is staggered for 6 seconds. He can't do anything, so that's going to make him lose a round of movement. It's only 6 seconds though.
Yeah.
So it's not a long time.
To sprint away.
All right, where do you sprint to?
Ortega's going to run away, or attempt to run away.
All right, where to?
And,
Where to and how? You're in that dragon chamber now. Right behind you is Antumbra Hall. Do you remember how to get out of here?
Yeah, through the bar.
All right, so you're going to try to go upstairs through the gambling arena, then through the bar.
Yeah.
All right, so you flee upstairs.
Yeah.
All right, that buys you 6 seconds, so you'll be at least 30 feet ahead of the Ramses spirit.
Okay.
Which means you'll be upstairs before Ramses. But Ramses also doesn't have to use a ladder. Ramses can just fly through the floor.
Yeah, that is true.
So you're only a little bit ahead. We'll say you're by the time you get to the top of the bar, you're in the bar now, which is empty and it appears to be closed. And Ramses is only 15 feet behind you, coming through the floor. So Ramses' head is coming through the floor, and Vortiga's upstairs in the bar. She's all alone.
Okay. I'm going to cast Hide from Undead on myself as Vortiga and try to run up into one of the empty rooms upstairs.
Alright, so, yeah, the inn is not connected to the tavern necessarily. It's next door. So you'd have to leave the tavern to do that.
I will.
Alright, the front door is locked from the inside, I guess. But it's locked.
Okay, can I use Disable Device on the lock?
Yeah, and it'll be really low because you're on the inside. All you gotta do is turn a knob, really.
Oh, I thought you meant I already got out. Yeah, I'll open the door.
Yeah, so you unlock the door to the tavern and run outside. Ramses is able to see you do this and still follow, so he's still about 15 feet behind, following you into the town of Southport, where it's very bright outside. Roll me a fortitude save when you open the door.
Oh, goodness. That's going to be an 18 plus 4.
Alright, so yeah, you're fine. It's very bright, but you have pretty good resolve, so it's kind of bright at first when you first walk out, kind of like, when the lights are off and the lights turn on really fast and your eyes kind of adjust. That happened, but nothing too bad to stagger you. You kept moving. You just played through the pain. And kept running. Where do you run to?
Like I said, I'm going to try and go in the inn.
Alright, so right next door is the inn.
Yep.
You open the door. Ramses can still follow if Ramses wants to.
Man, he's going to be in hot pursuit.
And he still is. He's still about 15 feet behind, following Vortiga into the inn.
If I'm outside, can I cast another command and try to get him to command?
Yeah, you bought yourself a round. If you want to try and cast one of those while you're out here, you can.
Yeah, I want to cast command before I go into the inn and try. And,
Alright, so Ramses gets another will save.
Yep. Alright.
Roll it.
That's going to be an 11, or no, that's going to be a 17.
Is that high enough?
Staggered.
I feel like he is staggered still for a round. So you bought yourself another 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but you're indoors now, so you can only get so far away inside an inn.
Well, I was doing that in the transition between the two buildings.
Oh, so you're trying to cause a delay so he doesn't see you go in the inn.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say you stagger him before you go out the door, and you think that buys you 6 seconds, enough time to get in the inn.
Yeah.
So when Ramses comes outside, he doesn't see you, and Ramses has to roll a perception check or survival check to track you and find out where you went.
Well, let's see what Detect Undead does, because I cast that too. Is that,
Or hide from undead.
Land's my third spell, so that's my last level 1 spell I can cast for the day. Because I think, hide from undead's level 1. Hide from undead. Undead cannot see, hear, smell creatures warded by the spell. Even the extraordinary or supernatural sensory capabilities such as blind sense, blind sight, scent, and tremor sense cannot detect the local warded creatures.
All right.
So,
how long does that last? And do they get a save on it, or?
Yeah, he gets a single will saving throw. If it fails, the subject cannot see any of the warded creatures. If it has reason to believe that unseen opponents are present, however, it can attempt to find or strike them, so like Neville, invisible. If a warded creature attempts to channel positive...
So I assume you're warding yourself and Neville in this inn somewhere.
Yes.
So you run inside the inn, do you just do it in the lobby, or are you trying to buy a room really quick, or?
Yeah, I'll try and buy a room.
Alright, so you rush in and you're like, I need a room stat, like really fast.
Yeah.
You like throw how much gold on the counter?
I'll throw 15 gold on the counter.
Alright, that's enough to get a room really fast. So you throw 15 gold on the counter, they throw you a key.
Alright, I go to the room.
Alright, so you run up to your room, unlock the door, and cast this hide from undead on yourselves, of course, which you already did. So you cower in the corner of the room and just wait to see if Ramses finds you. Ramses needs to roll a perception check or a survival check when he leaves the bar to see if he can track and see where they went.
Alright, well, wouldn't he just roll the will save so he can surpass the detect undead?
Yeah, it depends when when did they cast that spell?
Well, they were casting the detect undead as he was in the bar.
Okay, so roll that one first then, yeah, and that'll depend if he's even able to follow him at all.
Which you probably will, yeah. That's a 19 plus 7, so he's superseded the detect undead.
Yeah, no problem finding these guys.
Yeah.
So roll his perception and survival, whichever one works, really. Perception will mean he saw them going into the inn, and survival means he tracked them going into the inn. Either one will work for me.
He'll probably do survival. And that's going to be 14 plus 2, so 16.
So it's not great, but it is enough for him to know that there aren't a whole lot of places to run in Southport. It's a pretty open-air community. Most of the buildings have open roofs, even the inn.
Yeah.
And the inn's probably the closest thing to the tavern, besides the graveyard, and he's obviously not in the graveyard. So that's probably where they went, if you had to guess.
So Ramses goes in and says, I need to, I'm looking for some suspicious characters. Have you seen anyone that's come in?
The inn owner, who is a member of the Blind Light Guild, nods and says yes and points upstairs to the room where Vortiga and Neville are hiding.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go up there.
Alright, he goes up there and he can phase right through the door if he wants.
Yeah, let's do that. And as he's coming in, do some, big threatening, booming voice of, some Zeus-ass shit.
Alright, do you have a spell for that? There is a spell that does that. Do you have it, or are you just trying to do it as best you can?
Trying to do a deep voice.
They'd be like, this is me, Ramses, doing an impression of a booming voice.
Yeah.
Alright, so roll me, what you're trying to do is intimidate, obviously. So roll me an intimidate, and then with a booming voice, say what you're going to say.
Yeah. I got something for intimidate. I got a bonus to that. I have intimidating prowess, so that adds strength plus my charisma, so that's going to be a plus 8.
Alright, intimidate away. See if you can freak Vortiga out.
And that's going to be an 11 plus 8, so 19.
So yeah, pretty intimidating. You can roll a sense motive for Vortiga to see how she takes it.
Sure. That's going to be an 8.
Yeah, she's intimidated.
Alright,
She's not sure what this thing's capable of. It's obviously followed her this far. She's trying to hide from it, and it's not working. So she's pretty intimidated at this point. The spirits followed her into this room. She's in a corner. None of she should have paid more attention in training, because she totally gleamed over this part of the manual, and she wished she would have read more about how to fight spirits, because she doesn't remember enough. So yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, and Neville's already told her what's up, so I mean, there's nothing she can do. There's literally nothing she can do. She's gonna jump out the fucking window.
Alright, roll me an acrobatics check for Vortiga to jump out the window.
That's going to be a 9 plus 5.
Vortiga gets stuck in the window. She breaks the glass and is stuck there. Roll me 1d4 for glass cutting damage on Vortiga. But her big hobgoblin body won't fit through the small elven window. She's have trouble getting her whole body out as she tries to run.
2.
Alright, so her legs are in the hotel room, but the front part of her body's out. I'll assume Neville flew out ahead of her and is probably even pulling her arms, like trying to help her pull out. But
Yeah. What would Neville roll a strength check?
yeah, if you want Neville to help, Neville can roll a strength check to try and help pull her.
Yeah, just try and knock her the fuck out the window and get away from Ramses. Ramses will kill Neville, I guess, because Neville's an imp.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen.
So, yeah, Neville in his dying whatever. That's a 12 plus strength 0. So 12.
So he's on the outside, not the inside, but he's pulling and it's not working though. So he's like pulling her hands. He flew out first. We'll say he made the path. He also wanted to flee from the spirit.
Well, can Ramses grab?
Ramses can grab Vortiga. Vortiga's in the room, so Ramses can grab Vortiga's feet or anything below her torso. Ramses can grab, but
Yeah,
Neville's outside.
Ramses gonna grab her and butt cheeks. Yeah, whatever. He's gonna grab her and fucking take her to the blind.
Well, he can't grab. Oh, I lie when I say he can grab her. He can't because he's incorporeal, so his hands are passed right through her. His weapons can hit her though, so you could hit her with your sword or whatever other weapons Ramses has left with it became spiritual.
Well, Vortiga has a low HP, and I'm going to kill her if I strike her.
What's her constitution?
Like 12.
And how much HP does she have left?
21.
So you have to do 33 damage to kill her.
I don't know. Crits have happened, Brian.
So just don't do more than 33 damage and everything will be fine.
It's easy to say. It's easy to say.
Actually, she's a zombie, you're right. You can't get her below 0.
Yeah, I can't do any of that, but
You gotta get her, you have to do non-lethal damage, man. You got like a quarterstaff, you have something that's soft besides a sword that you can like just knock her out with and not bloody her up?
No, I don't have my cleric staff or anything. All I have are swords and spears and a flame dagger and a heavy crossbow. The blunt side of the spear, like that spear upside down. Ramses
You can take a -2 and improvise, use the blunt side of your sword if you're just trying to knock her out.
Ramses calls for the guards.
Alright, you trying to call for the guards, and you guys are in the inn?
I think she's stuck.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Roll me a diplomacy to call for the guards.
Alright. That's gonna be a 19.
Alright, so the inn owner downstairs hears you, and he's, like I said, a member of the Blinding Light Guild, so he very quickly messages some other Blinding Light Guild members. They report right away. Roll me 1d6 to see how many Blinding Light guys show up.
Alright. A 1d6?
Yep.
3.
So 3 Blinding Light guards show up. Report upstairs to the room where Ramses is and where Vortiga's cowering in the corner. Or stuck in the window, I mean.
Yeah. Ramses says, get her.
Alright.
Get her out of the window and arrest her.
Alright, does Neville flee or does Neville stick around to try and help out, or what's Neville do?
Neville goes invisible.
Alright. I mean, he's been invisible the whole time, I thought, but...
Yeah, he stays invisible and kind of floats around and checks on what's going on.
So he's just hanging out overhead above... He's just hanging out in the area above Southtown, like flying around, just watching.
Yeah.
Alright. So they pull Vortiga out of the window. They cuff her. And hold her. So the guards have now... Vortiga's being held, and Ramses can do whatever he wants, basically. She's can be questioned or taken or whatever. She can't resist.
Would Ramses take her to the researcher?
Yeah, you can do that. You take Vortiga to the researcher?
Yeah.
Alright, you take her to the Temple Desna, where the researcher is waiting. This time she appears to be an elf. Her wings aren't out, but she just appears to be a very beautiful elf woman. And Vortiga is there, and she asks Vortiga if she recognizes her, and Vortiga, of course, does. And she says, didn't I forbid you from coming back here? And Vortiga, of course, yes. And she says, and you still came back here? She says, well, now you have to accept your punishment. And she says, I'd like to introduce you to Ramses. He'll be with you for a while.
Yeah, I possess your body.
You possess the body of Vortiga. At this moment in time, Vortiga once again becomes alive. She's no longer undead. Her cooter is still rotten, so she still has rotten vagina, but she's become alive again, so she loses all of her undead traits.
Except her vagina.
Except her vagina, because that was just already rotten. So besides the rotten vagina, she's 100% alive again, so all the traits she got from being undead are now gone. And she also now shares this body with the spirit of Ramses.
Nice.
Who brought this body back to life with his goodness. So now she's a very complicated character, because here's what happens now every time this character wants to do anything. Either the character in control stays in control until it does an action that would upset the other character, and then that character can roll a will save to stay in control. Or every time you fall asleep, when you wake up, you roll a percentage chance to who inhabits the body.
Well, Ramses' will's so high, I doubt he's gonna.
So Ramses is being in control a lot unless the body falls asleep, which it will still occasionally, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
So
They're
then,
both mythic,
yeah.
so I mean, either one that controls the body.
The one thing I'll say about Ramses being in control of this body is he cannot use the Great Axe of Rovagug. That's a holy weapon for another deity. So whenever
His ghost weapons.
his ghost weapons can appear in Vortiga's hands whenever he's in control.
Okay.
So those can just magically appear whenever he wants them. So they can just
Okay, I'm good with that.
yeah. But only whenever Ramses is in control does that happen, and it's only because he refuses to use that axe because it's a different god's weapon. It's blasphemous to use
So
an
who am
axe.
I going to plug experience points into?
Depending who's in control at the time of the battle.
All right.
Very complicated.
What about hit points? Is that straight Vortiga?
That's whoever's in control at that point in the battle, because his spirit can still die. So, like if he's the one in control and it gets it gets wiped out, the spirit goes back to wherever it goes whenever it dies. Same thing for Vortiga's spirit's already somewhere else, but if her body dies, that's it. So, but it would go Ramses first if Ramses is in control, and then Vortiga afterwards. Once Ramses gone, it becomes Vortiga again. Unless Vortiga's in control, then it's straight Vortiga.
Right.
But right now, Ramses takes over, and I'll let Vortiga make a will save. Let's do a will contest for who is in control right now. Ramses versus Vortiga. Whoever has the highest will be in control of the body right now.
Alright, this is for Vortiga. That's a fucking 18 plus 3. So that's...
Best will save Vortiga's had in a while.
Yeah, where was that?
I don't know.
Many games ago. Ramses lost.
All right.
That's
So the spirit has entered Vortiga's body, but it feels trapped in her mind and is yet able to take control of the body. Vortiga's still, of course, handcuffed and being held down, but is still in control of her faculties. And roll me a knowledge arcana for Vortiga to know if she got possessed or not.
Alright. That's only going to be a 7.
All right, so let's say she didn't even notice that Ramses entered her body. She just thinks she's in here with this researcher and Ramses, so she has no idea Ramses is now inside of her.
Yeah.
And anytime that she would do something that Ramses would disagree with, she has to roll a will save or Ramses could take over and stop her. So she doesn't know that, but right now that's what's going on. So she has no idea that Ramses entered her body and she's being held. Longa says to her, well, I guess we have to banish you again. So poof. Vortiga's once again gone and returns to the mountains of West Linya. Same place she returned to before.
Yeah. So we're back to the exact same spot that I was. So like outside.
Same last time that you were dumped, you were in the mountains north of Nevercrooks, basically in West Linya. Basically, kind of where your childhood home was.
Alright.
This place is probably like one of your earliest childhood memories. That's where you got sent back to. It's like kind of this area is kind of where you remember first playing as a child hobgoblin. And you returned there. And now we're gonna go to Morgan because that was a lot. Since Morgan died last time. So Morgan is incinerated in the battle with a dragon, and as soon as you know it, like the next instant, like you visually see the moment that you die. You see the flames encasing your whole body. You remember the pain. You remember dying. Okay, you remember everything about what just happened. all of a sudden you feel yourself surrounded by complete blackness. You still feel yourself. You still feel like your soul, your spirit energy. You feel like you have arms, even though you don't see them. It's weird not having a body. You feel like yourself, but you're just completely surrounded. You feel like if you're walking around with your eyes closed in a dark cave, and like you can't, there's nothing around you. Like you don't feel anything. You don't see anything. You know you're there. You know this is you. You feel like yourself. You feel like you're still alive, but you're surrounded by complete darkness.
Well, I know the first thing I'd do would probably try and reach for a flask, which I probably don't have.
Yeah, you don't seem to have. You try to reach for a flask, but then that's when you realize that while you feel like you're moving your arms, there are no arms there. And while you're trying to reach for a flask, there's like no flask to reach. There's nothing. There's nothingness all around you.
Well, I can't. The only like backup I have would be to like shout out to Kate and Colleen, but I don't know if I could reach them without any booze.
Yeah, it'd be tricky. You're definitely not drunk right now. This is probably the least drunk you've ever felt.
Oh, I'm so sober.
It's miserable. You hate it.
This is sobriety.
Yeah.
Is terrible.
This is the worst. However long you've been in this blackness, you hate it. However long you've been here, it's been miserable.
I guess this wagon shit is not good.
This wagon shit.
You're pretty miserable. You can't feel anything. You can't see anything. You know that it's you. Like the only thing that you can sense is yourself. You sense nothing else around you.
I mean, I can't. So there's like nothing I can do, right? Like, just wait for your crystal. Although, I'd know that I have like a soul shard, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know I was dead.
Roll me a perception check.
I guess I could assume, like, just ponder life, like, is this dead?
Right, Richard Dalton.
Alright. 48%.
I said perception, not percentage. I'm sorry.
Oh, percentage. Sorry.
Perception.
Alright, that's gonna be 16.
All right, so you are completely surrounded by blackness, and you see nothing. But right now, you hear a sound you're not familiar with. For us, it would sound like that sound when someone taps on a microphone and there's like feedback right away. Bing, bing. Yeah, kind of sounds like that. You feel like someone's tapping on something. You feel like someone's tapping on the universe around you.
Like I'm in like a big glass jar almost.
Yeah, or like a glass marble or something. You feel like you're in something and someone's tapping on it.
Alright. I'm guessing they probably can't hear me. Alright, I'm just gonna shout out, like, what the hell is going on?
It said, "Oh, you made it." You hear a voice. It says, "State your name."
Morgan. Like Prince, I only have one name.
Alright, he says, "Captain, we've got one of the soul shards you were asking about." All right, then you feel like the sensation of like whooshing around you.
What's going on here?
No one replies. The whooshing stops. You once again hear the tapping sound.
Hey, well, what's going on? What's going on, guys?
He says, "Morrigan."
Yeah, that's me.
He says, "We've been waiting for you."
Yeah? Where am I? What's going on?
He says, "You're in the city of Westport." He says, "Apparently you died while in service of our military."
Died? Fuck.
He says, "It seems you must not have had any luck getting to one of those crystals, huh?"
I thought I was pretty close to one.
He said, "We'll have to ensure you have better luck next time." He says, "We're gonna make a couple of adjustments. Is that okay?"
Do I have a choice?
He says, "You always have a choice."
So stay dead or take adjustments.
Well, here's the thing. You're in a soul shard now. Do you like it?
Not really.
Well, you can either stay in the soul shard where you're trapped, or we can give you a body and you can follow orders.
I guess I'll take the body.
He's like,
Is there
"All right."
like nice fucking mug of ale waiting out there for me?
He says, "We'll make some arrangements to have a pint of ale ready for you. We understand here. It says on your It says on your chart here you worship Caden Colleen.
Because you're a junkie.
Yeah, so we'll try and have that ready for you. So if you're ready to follow orders, I think we can arrange something.
Alright, well, yeah, the whole following orders. I'll do my best on that. But yeah, I'm ready.
Uh-oh, looks like somebody sharded. Why do bad things always happen to good drunk people with guns? Well, at least it can't get any worse. Or can it? Find out next time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater.